What's going on, guys? Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. Today we're going to be talking about the Video Game Awards. Yes, I know I've made a few videos on the organization. But that doesn't take away, I still have those stances, and I really do hope that Jeff Keighley changes some of the process when it comes to picking nominations in general. You know, games like Starfield, and also, you know, Octopath Traveler 2. I love that game. And it didn't get nominated one time. So I hope they do straighten that up. But anyway, even though that this is about the nominations, this is about celebrating video games every year, one of the biggest things that me and you, such as the gamers that actually watch this, that we enjoy, is we like to actually see the announcements from companies such as Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Ubisoft, EA. There is a lot of announcements generally at these events. And shout out to our friends over there at Xbox 2, Jez and Randolph Thor. They actually have some, you know, guesses that they think is going to be at the Video Game Awards. And I want to go over that because I think it's a really unique perspective, and some of them kind of like caught me off guard. But let's go ahead and go over here and see this. I think you guys are going to be very interested to see some of them. As I could say, I'm going to put the link to this podcast in the description below, and we're going to go ahead and get on to this, man. Let's watch the first one from Rand right now.
3 potential games, right? My first one was Gear 6. I was like, all right, you know, the Coalition Gears game, I think I don't know what it's targeting, but it's probably not targeting next year, but I was thinking 2025, maybe even as late as 2026. And you could show it at the Game Awards. It's been, God, what, at this point, 4 years, you could have a teaser, you could show off Unreal Engine 5 and what it could look like. It could really, like, be a graphical showpiece.
So, as you can see, the first one he's thinking of, he thinks Gear 6 is going to be here. I, for one, don't. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Gear 6. Gears 5. Put in the comment section below if you guys like that. I did see that a lot of people, it was like a hit and miss that they enjoyed that game. I, for one, love the narrative that they did with Kate. I like the direction they were going with the story. And I felt like the franchise has really good foundation to continue pushing forward with the Gears 6. Especially with the decision making they did at the end of Gears 5. And I know a lot of people didn't like that. They wanted more of a definite ending instead of like branching out story paths. And I get that. But to a point, I'm like, look, I would love this to happen, Rand. I would love for this to happen, Jez. But I personally don't want them to be here. Now, if it was here, I wouldn't complain. But to me, Gear 6 needs to be at their own show. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys can correct me in the comment section below. I could be wrong on that, but I think Gear 6 is something that you end a whole E3 show with, or whatever you want to call it these days if it's not E3. Gear 6 is something that you end your own show with. You don't need to give it to someone else. Now, if they wanted to give Gear 6 to Jeff Keighley just to make sure it gets more eyes, I can understand that to a degree, but to me, you got to build your own platforms. And I do feel giving Jeff Keighley Gear 6 would be a mistake in some ways and not a mistake in others. I personally would like it to be at their next E3 showing. Like I said, whatever you guys want to call that. Or if we ever get something that resembles XO anymore, you know, give it to that. You know, put it on your own stage, man. That's my only thing with that. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say that that's perfect or anything. I would love for that to happen. And another thing, you know, we haven't really seen no leaks or anything when it comes to Gear 6. And generally when it comes to stuff like that, you're seeing like little breadcrumbs all the way up to an announcement. And I personally haven't heard nothing about Gear 6. Now, I could be wrong on that. There could have been like little leaks. I remember there's been like leaks on terms of what they're working on to some degree. I remember there was rumors that an IP got canceled. They were working on another IP. I don't know. They're supposed to experiment with Unreal Engine 5, because that's another thing people don't understand is like Coalition's one of those studios that really knows how to use that Unreal Engine. And I, for one, would love to see how they're going to utilize that engine. But let's go ahead and get to the second one, guys. Let's see what the second thing that they think is going to get announced.
In my mind. Another one is Indiana Jones. Because Todd talked about that, even in the lead up to Starfield, about how like they're halfway done. He even mentioned how we see more of it next year, and we don't know really anything about the game other than that initial teaser trailer that they showed when they announced the game on Twitter, of all places, back in 2021. It was just like a quick 10-second teaser, and we don't know any else. We don't know the setting. Is it young indie? Is it middle-aged indie?
I'm gonna let it play a little longer because there is a point that Rand says I would like to be brought up.
Third person. What's the story? Like, we don't know anything about this game. And I was thinking, like, Jeff Keighley is also kind of obsessed with Hollywood a little bit, because always, the Oscars, the Game Awards. What better way to kind of like delve into that than having a trailer for Indiana Jones at the Game Awards, a game that.
So as you can see there, he says Indiana Jones. He thinks Indiana Jones is a phenomenal game to be put in this. Now, we did see the Todd Howard interview. I think it was IGN. I can't remember exactly who Todd Howard was being interviewed by. But when they asked him about Indiana Jones, when they were talking about Starfield, he said, ask me next year. So this is one of the ones that I do think is very possible to happen. I think you see Indiana Jones, like an initial trailer, maybe to show some form of where it's going to be, how old Indiana Jones is going to be, and then you go into what kind of gameplay, maybe a gameplay mirage. I don't think we're going to see some like gameplay full thing where someone's playing it. I think you'll see a maybe 1 minute to 2 minute trailer showing a little bit of a narrative on the story aspect and some of the gameplay, because I know there's like rumor that it's going to be first person and third person, and I think a lot of people just want to know how you pull that off, fam. We got to see how you pull that off, and I think this is a good thing. And like Rand said, Jeff Keighley loves the video industry. He loves Hollywood, and I think because Indiana Jones is such a iconic movie, maybe it's not as popular as it used to be, but because it is an iconic movie, he would love for the game to be formally announced on his show. Now, obviously, we haven't seen much. We just seen that little video where I think it was a picture or a video where they put the whip on the table. That's all we've seen. So it would be nice for him, knowing that he loves Hollywood and loves that industry, to formally announce a lot in terms of Indiana Jones. Now there is a third one. Me and Rand, we about to we get to square up a little bit on this one. Let's go to get to it.
The third one I was thinking of was a game from Arcane Leon. We know
I'm gonna let this one play for like a minute and a half, because there's something I disagree with.
Somebody's working on Dishonored 3, although I don't think that's actually true anymore. And we also
You don't think so?
I don't think so. No, because like that leak might have been true in 2020 when Xbox was talking to them to being acquired, but I just have this feeling that if Leon was making a game, it'd be Deathloop related, because I think it probably did better than a Dishonored game ever did. This is my speculation.
Know about that.
Yeah, I disagree on that too.
They did say that it had 5 million players.
Let's go ahead and pop back over here. Okay, he said something from Arcane Studio. Their golden team, the people that make Dishonored, Deathloop. All right, here's my thing. First off, to my knowledge, maybe I'm wrong, but I remember a specific interview with developers over there at Arcane that specifically confirmed that Dishonored 3, well, Dishonored in general, the universe, and the Deathloop universe, they're the same. So you could easily work on a Dishonored 3 with some of the captives that was in Deathloop. Because the way I would see it is, during the events of Dishonored, Cole was locked in that experiment where the days keep looping over and over again. I could be wrong on that, but put in the comment section below exactly what that is, just to educate people in the comment section. I'm just going off memory. I don't want to look that, because I don't even think it was like a big channel that did it. I don't know. Here's the thing. As far as Dishonored not doing it better than Deathloop, I mean probably Dishonored 2, because I think that was underwhelming compared to what they normally see. But Dishonored 1, I am tempted to say, did better than Deathloop. Now, Obviously, Deathloop was on Game Pass. They had a lower entry. There's probably a lot more people that play Deathloop, and that's up in the air because I don't know how much Dishonored sold. Put in the comment section below what Dishonored sold. I'm sure some of you know. So I'm kind of curious on what actually did better, Dishonored or Deathloop. Me personally, I would want a Dishonored, and I think it would be phenomenal. You guys would see me fanboy out reacting to this on the Iron Lords podcast channel. Shout out to them. We're going to be reacting to it over there. If there's a Dishonored or a Deathloop sequel in this game, and in this event, especially Dishonored 3, I would literally just have a straight fanboy moment if Dishonored 3 is announced at the Video Game Awards. Now, in conclusion with this, Rand and Jez, like I said, they are in the know people. Now, does that mean they get everything right? No. I would say that stuff they hear is generally either outdated information if they are proven wrong later and it's just recycled and they went a different way. Because for the most part, the stuff that especially Jez says, it's actually happening. It's a matter of when it's going to be announced, and it's a matter of if the information's outdated or not, or they're moving a different direction. I think it's really good for this, man. I really do. I think expect one of these. It would be cool if we got two. Imagine if we got a Deathloop and Gears. Now, I don't think Jez or Rand is saying all three of these going to be announced there. These are the picks that he would be there. Now, obviously, there could be two of these here. I mean, hell, there could be all three. I don't think the odds of that's very high. But we know from past experiences, Microsoft has announced full-blown games on this event. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel. Do you guys feel that, we're going to get any of these games in here? You think it's going to be like one of those things where they just show a bunch of games as a service, expansions, and updates, such as Fallout 76? I know people want Hellblade to be there. I don't think it's the time for Hellblade. I think they just showed it recently, and I know a lot of people didn't like that showing. So I don't think they're going to show us anything on Hellblade. Hell, they might. It was announced at the Video Game Awards, so it's interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff at the show. I'm going to do a more in-detail video on the Video Game Awards probably in the next week. But put in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you think that any of these games that Rand and Jez, well, mainly Rand, saying could they potentially be there? I'm very curious your guys' opinion on that. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. If you like the video, hit that like button and sub for weekly content. We out.